to run away from paying what they should pay. And by the way, majority of us here don't have the privilege of hiding behind these laws to evade tax, or even to avoid it. But this is actually evasion. But a few people hide behind this. Because sometimes I ask myself, if you don't define what a trade secret is, what is it that would be considered as trade secret? Everything. Someone will just go and argue that this is a trade secret. And you know, we have had some provisions in our laws, some of which you will agree with me, would just hinder and stop collection of taxes. I will give you another example. Today, if there is tax dispute and you go to the tribunal and you lose the case against KRA, what you need to do to delay paying that tax is you simply file an appeal. Even without getting order, KRA will not collect tax from you. So what many taxpayers do is they lose the case and they know they have no grounds really to win the case, but they go to court just to delay collection of taxes. And then the net effect of that is that we may end up not collecting any tax in this country. And what would be the effect? So I want to call this gentleman, please come near me here. I don't know, maybe you can stand there and just take a minute or two to tell these good people, these great Kenyans, why have you thought it wise to remove or to suggest to us that we amend that law?
Start with your name, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Nixon Omondi, KRA Digital Economy Tax Office. All of us now have a digital way of accessing our either bank statements or M-Pesa statements. For those who had bank accounts in the olden days, if you needed your statement, you have to go to the bank, make an application, and then you access your statement. But now you can get your statement at the convenience of wherever you are. Okay? So what KRA has been doing over the years with respect to the law that is being proposed to be amended is that if KRA wants to know, for example, PAL's records, whether they are declaring their fair share of tax, is to ask them for their bank account. And then PAL's will provide us with the details of their bank statement. So we look at the bank statement, see how much money has gone in there, compare with what they are declaring as their income, and if there are any variances, we always come back and ask you, why are there these differences? So it's not that KRA will just find your bank account and say, this is the tax you are paying. Based on, of course, the law, if you read Article 47 of the Fair Administration Action, KRA has to give you an opportunity to be heard. So what KRA is doing, and that is the amendment that came up with the Tax Law Amendment Act in 2024 December, was to say, instead of KRA asking you every now and again to give the same statement, why not the bank give us that statement in advance so that these people who are tax cheats, as the CS is explaining, can then be, fished out in good time. So then the act was amended in such a manner that even the KRA PIN, KRA cannot obtain that data from the bank. And this is the information that KRA itself gives. So even it's like telling you that you cannot access your phone number, and that is your phone number. Or it's like telling Safaricom, you cannot access the phone number that you gave a subscriber. So that is what the law has done, and it's to tie KRA's hands in dealing with tax cheats and those who are doing money laundering. Thank you. So
for someone with a small business, I have an SME somewhere in town, I employ 3-4 people. Will I also be a target of this law, or is it just for big multinational companies?
Remember, tax is not just for specific people. All of us have a collective responsibility to build our country, Kenya. So if I'm being taxed on my 30,000 salary, then a multinational should also be taxed on their 100 billion income. So the law is not discriminative, is to take care of every taxpayer in Kenya.
Will businesses be required to do anything, or is this on you guys? When this is assuming the law actually passes, what will businesses be required to do to ensure they comply with the law?
At that stage, the business will not be required to do anything. It is the people whom KRA will require or request to integrate with who will then give us the information. But remember, all this information has to flow to KRA in line with the Data Protection Act of 2019. The KRA has already instituted a data governance office to ensure that any data we receive, including what we have now, is handled in line with the law. And in case KRA is not immune from many penalties from the Data Commissioner, if we handle any data in a manner that goes against the law.
The biggest question has been, of course, some time back, I believe it's last year, there were hacks that targeted several government institutions. So if we actually, businesses make themselves open to you, they risk losing their data from hacks and things like that. What is KRA doing to at least assure us here that our data will be safe?
I would ask you that, has your PIN been misused? Because that's part of data that KRA keeps.
Yeah.
So in that manner, any information we have, and we have financial information of all companies in Kenya, all individuals, including your pay details, and that is kept in line with the Data Protection Act.
So
yes.
What you're saying here today is we will be safe.
Very safe.
All right.
And the CS is here to assure you more.
I will assure you that KRA is acting professionally and within the law, and will always make sure that the data that they get, and by the way, even presently, they receive information, they get data, and they keep it and they use it responsibly only for tax assessment.
There's a question that I've just received, and I feel it's fair for me to ask this question. We've seen Elon Musk in the US take a very big chainsaw and go into government offices and, cut a lot of expenditure, saving money. You yourself here have said that the government is spending a lot and we need to kind of reduce our appetite on a lot of things. Is there a plan to do something like that within your tenure? Are you thinking about it?
We are actually already having processes to do that in place. We may not do it the Musk style, which, with all due respect, may be a bit mechanical, but we are methodical. Let me tell you, one of the areas that we have identified, so there are a couple of things we are doing. Number one is we introduced